CryptoCast Daily is here, sharp, short, and to the point. Subscribe now and never miss a market move. Here are the top highlights shaping the crypto market today. BitMEX co-founder Arthur Hayes sees money printing extending crypto cycle well into 2026. Bitcoin bulls bet on Fed rate cuts to drive bond yields lower, but there's a catch. Are the record flows for traditional and crypto ETFs reducing the power of the Fed? Corporate Bitcoin buying slows in August as Treasuries add $5 billion. AI, mining news, GPU gold rush. Why Bitcoin miners are powering AI's expansion. Bitcoin climbs as economy cracks. Is it bullish or bearish? Fed's Sept. 17 rate cut could spark short-term jitters but supercharge Bitcoin, gold and stocks long-term. Your company probably doesn't need its own L2. Memecoins rally as traders bet on Fed rate cut and US altcoin ETFs. Ton strategy starts share buyback, Treasury staking after shares plunge 40%. State of crypto. Brian Quintenz vs. Tyler Winklevoss. WisdomTree launches tokenized private credit fund. Gemini crypto exchange IPO pops 14% as Winklevoss twins predict $1 million Bitcoin. Bone price surges 40% after Shibarium flash loan exploit. Crypto's time has come, SEC chair outlines vision for on-chain markets and agentic finance. Bitcoin ecosystem surges with subnet expansion, institutional access. Massachusetts State Attorney General alleges Kalshi violating sports gambling laws. Polymarket weighs $9 billion valuation amid user surge and CFTC approval. The information. Bitcoin, Ether catch Friday afternoon bids, rise to 3-week highs. Gemini stock jumps 45% in early trades after IPO. Stay tuned as we break down the details behind these headlines. Record exchange-traded fund flows may be reshaping markets.
United States-listed exchange-traded funds now hold a record $12.19 trillion in assets.
This is up from $10.35 trillion at the end of 2024.
Investors added $120.65 billion to exchange-traded funds in August alone.
Year-to-date inflows have reached a record $799 billion.
The three largest providers, iShares, Vanguard, and State Street, control nearly 3/4 of the United States exchange-traded fund market.
Crypto-linked exchange-traded funds now manage over $120 billion combined.
Bitcoin exchange-traded funds alone account for over $100 billion.
Bitcoin rally lost momentum in August, and slower corporate accumulation may explain why.
Tracked Treasury entities added 47,718 Bitcoin last month.
This is equivalent to $5.2 billion, down from more than 100,000 Bitcoin in July.
This brought total holdings across public companies, private firms, governments and exchange-traded funds to 3.68 million Bitcoin.
This was valued at $400 billion at month-end.
The monthly increase of 1.2% was far weaker than July as 4.6%.
This easing in Bitcoin acquisitions by corporate entities could offer an explanation for Bitcoin's rally to $123,000 not being sustained. Core Scientific shifted from Bitcoin mining to hosting artificial intelligence data centers for more stable income.
This reflects a growing trend of converting mining operations into artificial intelligence facilities.
Companies like Hut 8 and TeraWulf are also exchanging Bitcoin mining computers for GPU clusters used in artificial intelligence.
This is driven by the rapid growth of artificial intelligence and the challenging economics of crypto mining.
Bitcoin mining is energy intensive, making electricity the largest cost.
Miners enjoyed high profit margins during the 2021 bull run.
However, the subsequent crypto winter and halving event reduced profitability.
This forced miners to diversify their revenue streams.
Bitcoin is about 4% higher than it was a week ago.
This is good news for Bitcoin but potentially bad news for the United States economy.
Negative economic data has raised expectations that the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates.
This could make riskier assets like Bitcoin and stocks more attractive.
Key economic data supports this thesis.
United States Consumer Price Index figures were higher than expected, suggesting inflation may be persistent.
Revised job data shows the United States created almost 1 million fewer jobs than initially reported.
This is the largest downward revision in United States history.
Markets expect a quarter-point rate cut from the Federal Reserve on September 17.
This could trigger short-term volatility but potentially fuel longer-term gains across risk assets.
Consumer prices rose 0.4% in August, bringing the annual rate to 2.9%.
Producer prices remain 2.6% higher than a year earlier.
Non-farm payrolls increased by just 22,000 in August.
Average hourly earnings still rose 3.7% year over year.
Futures traders see a 93% chance of a 25 basis point cut.
If the cut is limited to 25 basis points, investors may react with a buy the rumor, sell the news response.
Memecoins are gaining traction as discussions of a new altcoin season increase on social media.
This is partly due to expectations that the Federal Reserve will reduce interest rates this week.
This would be beneficial for risk assets.
Bitcoin has underperformed relative to altcoins.
Altcoin season indexes, which compare the performance of top cryptocurrencies to Bitcoin, now indicate alt-season territory.
Alt-season describes a period where alternative cryptocurrencies outperform Bitcoin.
It often begins as capital moves out of Bitcoin due to increased risk appetite.
The CoinDesk Memecoin Index rose 7.1% over the last 24 hours, while Bitcoin only increased by 0.3%.
Ton Strategy Company has repurchased over 250,000 shares at $8.32 per share.
This is well below its stated Treasury asset value of $12.18.
This buyback is part of its $250 million program.
It follows the company positioning Toncoin as its primary treasury asset.
Ton Strategy has also begun staking its Ton holdings.
This will earn rewards by securing the blockchain network.
Staking rewards data shows yield could be as high as 4.8%.
The company owns 217.5 million Ton tokens, currently trading at $3.24 each.
Former Commodity Futures Trading Commission Commissioner Brian Quintenz shared messages with Gemini co-founder Tyler Winklevoss.
This unusual move comes as Quintenz awaits Senate confirmation to lead the commodities regulator.
Quintenz shared these messages following postponed Senate votes on his nomination.
He stated that he believed President Donald Trump might have been misled.
The messages concern Gemini's complaint against the Commodity Futures Trading Commission.
Winklevoss had reportedly lobbied the White House to pause Quintenz's confirmation.
Quintenz repeatedly stated in the messages that it would be more appropriate for a fully confirmed chair to address the matter.
The Commodity Futures Trading Commission is expected to become the primary spot market regulator for cryptocurrency in the United States.
WisdomTree has launched a new tokenized fund focused on private credit.
The fund is called the WisdomTree Private Credit and Alternative Income Digital Fund.
It tracks a basket of publicly traded closed-end funds, business development companies, and real estate investment trusts.
The minimum investment is only $25 and offers 2-day redemption.
WisdomTree also launched an ETF tracking the same benchmark in 2021.
Private credit lending has grown recently as investors seek yield-focused options.
WisdomTree head of digital assets Will Peck said it is about bringing the asset class to more investors.
The firm has also launched tokenized vehicles with exposure to money market funds, fixed income securities, and equities.
Gemini Space Station saw a surge in its Nasdaq debut Friday after raising $425 million in its initial public offering.
The company priced its initial public offering at $28 a share, valuing Gemini at about $3.3 billion before trading began.
On Friday, the stock opened at $37.01.
Shares climbed as high as $45.89 during intraday trading.
Gemini is headquartered in New York and operates a suite of crypto services.
These services include a spot exchange, custody solutions, and a United States dollar-backed stablecoin.
The Winklevoss brothers appeared on CNBC on the morning of the initial public offering.
They projected that Bitcoin could reach $1 million within the next decade.
Shibarium, Shiba Inu's Layer 2 network, was exploited using a flash loan.
The attacker acquired 4.6 million BONE, the governance token.
They then gained control of validator signing keys.
This allowed them to manipulate the network state and drain assets from the Shibarium bridge.
The stolen BONE remains staked and subject to an unstaking period.
This gives developers time to freeze the funds.
Shibarium paused staking, secured remaining funds, and began an investigation.
The source of the breach, server or developer machine, is undetermined. Massachusetts Attorney General Andrea Joy Campbell alleges Kalshi is violating state gambling laws.
The lawsuit claims Kalshi is offering sports event contracts that require a license under state sports wagering laws.
Campbell seeks to block Kalshi from offering sports prediction markets without a license in Massachusetts.
She is also pursuing monetary and other relief.
Kalshi argues its prediction markets, structured as binary options, are different from traditional sports wagering.
However, the filing compares Kalshi to licensed sports wagering operators like FanDuel.
The Attorney General alleges Kalshi uses website design elements to encourage risky behavior.
Kalshi maintains it offers a federally regulated and transparent marketplace, accessible to all Americans. Polymarket, an online betting exchange, has considered a deal valuing the company at $9 billion.
This is a significant increase from its $1 billion valuation 3 months ago.
At that time, it raised funds in a round led by Peter Thiel's Founders Fund.
The Commodity Futures Trading Commission previously barred Polymarket from offering prediction contracts in the United States.
However, earlier this year the agency allowed the platform to operate domestically.
This opened the door for new growth and allows users to bet on events like elections and court rulings.
During the last United States election cycle, Polymarket processed over $8 billion in wagers.
Competitor Kalshi has also seen its valuation rise to $5 billion.
Altcoins like Solana and Dogecoin have seen significant gains recently, with Solana up 17% and Dogecoin up 25% over the past 7 days.
This surge is attributed to upcoming ETFs and new crypto treasury companies focused on these tokens.
Bitcoin and Ether, however, are now gaining traction.
Bitcoin is up 2% to $116,600 in the past 2 hours.
Ether is up 5% to $4,650.
These are their highest prices since Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell's Jackson Hole speech in August.
Powell's unexpected shift from a hawkish to dovish stance on monetary policy, emphasizing the weakening labor market, triggered this surge.
This caused a rapid reaction in interest rate markets, making a September rate cut a certainty.
Gemini stock opened at $41 a share on Friday.
This represents a 45% increase from its initial public offering price.
The Winklevoss twins run the crypto exchange Gemini.
The initial public offering was priced at $28 per share.
This valued the company at approximately $3.3 billion.
Gemini sold 15.2 million shares and raised $425 million.
Gemini reported a net loss of $283 million in the first half of the year.
This follows a $159 million loss for all of 2024.
That's a wrap on this episode of CryptoCast Daily. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time with more market updates, bold predictions, and fearless crypto insights.